JM, two mega events, two mega cards this weekend. Let's start off with 164. What are your thoughts about Joshua Pacio versus Jared Brooks?
Very interesting fight. I think it's going to be competitive, very intriguing because I really think that if there is someone in this division who could beat Jared Brooks, I think it's going to be Joshua Pacio. And if there is someone in this division who could beat the champion, I think it's going to be Jared Brooks. So I think we can all agree, and I also feel and believe that Joshua Pacio, is the greatest champion in this division in one championship history. But if there is someone who can derail him, definitely it's going to be Jared Brooks. It's very intriguing in the sense that people often say that Team Lakay, doesn't have an excellent ground game, but every time you say that, it's like you're riding on a time capsule and then they go back to the early 2000s, right? Because these people, there's no way that, they would be beating these black belts if they didn't have a ground game, right? So when it comes to power, it comes to striking, I think hands down we know it's going to be, the advantage of Joshua Pacio. When it comes to wrestling, of course, that's going to be Jared Brooks. Now, what's going to happen in that fight? I think it's going to be back and forth. I really do feel that even though Pacio is now a highly evolved fighter, a highly improved ground game, I really do feel that Jared Brooks is still capable of taking him down. But what happens on the ground is another story because he also went to the ground with Alex Silva. And we all know the caliber of Alex Silva, right? When he gets you to the mat. And Joshua Pacio is no walk in the park. This kid keeps on improving. I think the only thing that we need to look out for here is his inactivity, right? But despite his inactivity, given his last performance, we can also say that he improves each and every fight. Now, we know that Jared Brooks, he wouldn't say it outright that he's been talking smack. He's trash talking Joshua Pacio. He's trying to get into his head. But if there's something that you have to know regarding the fighters of Team Lakay, these guys are bulletproof when it comes to the mental game, right? So I think he's trying to get into Pacio's head, and I think it's not working. And one thing that really stood out among the things that Jared Brooks told so far is that he said he's seen Joshua Pacio tap, right? He's seen Joshua Pacio get submitted. Those were the times years ago against Suzuki, against Naito, right? I don't know if that is just trash talk or if that is Jared Brooks' real observation. But what I'm going to tell you is this. If Jared Brooks truly believe, right? Again, we don't know if he truly believes this or he's just, talking crap to Joshua. But if he truly believes that Joshua Pacio is the same guy who fought Suzuki and Naito in the first fight, he's already lost this one. Because he cannot underestimate the champ like that. The kid has evolved so much. And when it comes to the stand-up striking, it's going to be hands down Pacio. So it's either someone gets knocked out, Jared Brooks. If someone gets submitted, it could be Joshua Pacio. But if it goes to the scorecards, I think it will be a very, very close fight. As for me, I think Joshua Pacio wins this fight via very slim decision. Probably split decision after 5 hard-fought rounds.
So no finish for this fight.
I honestly don't see a finish. I mean, these guys can take a punch, and these guys can defend well from takedowns. They know how to defend themselves from submission attempts. The only time that Jared Brooks got stopped was, it wasn't even because he was stopped, right? But because he knocked himself out, right? Unless Jared Brooks commits the same mistake, which I don't see happening again, right? I don't see this guy getting knocked out. But then again, you like all these athletes say, you never know in mixed martial arts. I mean, for one, I didn't see Joshua Pacio stopping the Japanese Bear in his last fight in the first round, right? So, you can never tell for sure. That's why this fight is very intriguing. It's so hard to predict. And you know what? After 5 rounds, I'm gonna tell you right now, I feel bad for the judges already. I feel bad for the judges because I think whoever wins this one, there's gonna be a dispute, no matter what. It's gonna be that close.
All right, let's move on to the other big fight, big event. One on Prime, Video 5, Reinier de Ridder versus Anatoly Malykhin. Give me your thoughts about that fight.
When we talk about RDR, I just can't. My God, this guy's confidence is, through the roof. I mean, the way he talks, the way he moves, the way he walks, it's like he truly feels and believes he is untouchable, right? But he's taking on a whole different monster here in the interim heavyweight champ. I mean, this guy can wrestle. So I think, RDR, knowing how good he is in getting submissions, knowing how good he is in taking his opponents to the ground, right? He could still take this to the mat. If whether he can get a submission or not, we'll go ahead and see. But, unlike his previous opponents, I think the champ is gonna make it hard for him. It's gonna make it hard for him. And if RDR somehow is pressed, he's somehow pressured to get the takedown, and if he doesn't get it, right, I think he's gonna get knocked out in this fight. I think he really does. My gut feeling says, all right, that the heavyweight champ is gonna take this fight probably via knockout. That's just my gut feeling.
What's your professional mental process is thinking?
Because I don't think that RDR hasn't fought someone as strong, as big as this guy, right? Now, there are different games to when it comes to grappling. There's wrestling and then there's jiu-jitsu. Definitely RDR has the advantage when it comes to his jiu-jitsu, right? But in order for you to get there to the mat, you would have to wrestle. You would have to use your wrestling. So it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to take someone stronger, bigger, and has a very good wrestling background. Now, given the size, I just see it being very hard for RDR, but this guy has proven me wrong many times before. I mean, probably he knows something that we don't know, right? So we'll go ahead and see. It's another one very intriguing matchup.
All right, there you have it from the brilliant mind of JM Siasat. I am Bong Lazar of the MMA Superfan. Thank you very much.